synchronous session. All right, so like what I have mentioned earlier, we'll be just talking about three things: your midterm grades, your expected outputs, and as well as your final group project for this semester. Okay, so before we start, can you please type your full name on the chat box so I would know who are in attendance today? Just type your full name on the chat box for your synchronous session attendance. Okay, so first things first, I hope everything's okay on your end. I hope everyone is safe and no one got sick. And only a few more weeks left before the end of the semester. You'll be graduating soon, and I expect everyone to be graduating together with the rest of the class. Okay, so yon. What else? Aside from that, of course, I have already posted your midterm grades. It's actually overdue. I haven't submitted it yet because there were a lot. There were not really a lot, but rather some students who asked if they could still submit their requirements because of this and that. So I have to really talk to the students one at a time, and you have to message me. For example, if you missed out on anything, you need to message me and wait for me to acknowledge it because hindi ko kayo kayang habulin isa-isa. There are a lot of students under my care, and I also have a lot of responsibilities outside of HSU and even outside of UMAC. So hindi ko talaga kaya maghabol ng estudyante na isa-isa. That's why I regularly post updates on our Facebook group. I regularly post I regularly post updates on our Facebook group just so everyone is informed of where we at class or in class, even if we are not meeting synchronously regularly as well. Okay, so I have posted a copy of your midterm grades. So far naman in your class, I don't think there's any problem. There are only 1 or 2 students who have issues, I guess, with the submission of requirements, but I don't think they have reached out to me just yet. So ayun po, if there are still students who want to and you are here right now, who want to still submit the requirements, the missing requirements, please do so. You are given until today, but you have to message me on Facebook so I can personally open the submission module for you because I have to do it manually. And I cannot open it for all of those students who miss the requirements because sometimes their excuses are not good enough. Yung iba kasi talaga, wala, nagpapabaya lang talaga sila sa pag-aaral nila, assuming na just because the setup is like this, they would easily pass. Okay, but not in my class. I do consider certain situations, but if I caught you telling me lies, then sorry na lang tayo. Okay, your grade remains the same. All right. So, but in your class, I don't think there's any problem with that. And yon. Okay, so do you have any concerns, questions, clarifications that you want to make regarding your midterm grades?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead, Zachary.
Ma'am, yung regards po dun sa dialogue, nagpasa po ako nun sa Moodle.
What
Naka-screenshots lang po siya.
do you mean dialogue?
Yung magsasite ka po ng dialogue sa mga movies, gano'n.
Okay, citation. Let me check.
Apo.
Wait, let me check my class record. Essential. Okay, so that's your only missing requirement?
Yes po, ma'am.
Can you see my screen?
Yes po.
When did you submit this one? Because I reopened it for you because initially, you didn't submit the correct. Let me check. Oh, you didn't submit. You only gave me a screenshot. The file in here is just a screenshot of your notes. Tama ba ako, Vicencio? Zachary?
Yung ano po ma'am, parang dialogue lang po siya na sinight ko tapos yun po, screenshot
Yeah,
ko.
okay. Sige, alright. So, from your notes, nasa notes siya. Correct?
Po ma'am.
Okay, I reopened it for you for submission. Dapat meron tong feedback that this is the wrong file. Okay, because go back to the instruction. What was my instruction? Transform the given movie lines to any type of citation format, and please see the file attached below for your reference. So, meaning there is a set already of movie quotes. Were you not able to attend the last synchronous session we had? Zachary?
Yes ma'am, ano po?
Were you able to attend the last synchronous session that we had? Yung
Yes
nagpa-activity
po
ako?
ma'am.
Oh,
Yes po.
bakit mali pa rin yung mali yung exercise mo? Please read the instructions carefully and then open the file available to you. And those are the movie quotations that you are gonna be submitting. You cannot submit random movie quotes. Kasi kung ano yung kung ano yung na-cover natin last time, yun yung dapat i-transform mo into citations. Okay, so I'll open the submission module for you once again. I'll give you until tonight. That's May 4. Okay, and you need to submit a new one because I will not give a grade for that one. Bibigyan kita ng grade dyan pero ibabagsak ko yan. So, ganun din. Same thing din. I'm giving you an opportunity to change your work and submit it. That's why I reopened the submission module for you before. Kasi choose nung 27 April pa to. So, please do check, Zachary, please do check the instructions first. Open the
Yes po
file
ma'am.
that is attached and then submit a new one within the day. Alright? Are we clear? Yes, no,
Yes po,
maybe.
thank you po.
All right. Okay. Anyone else who has any issues, any concerns, clarifications that they want to make?
Ma'am, yung akin po, ma-adjust pa po ba yung grade ko po? Ask ko lang po.
Wait, let me check my class record. Judy Ann.
Yes po.
Adjust pa po ba yung grade? You have already completed the activities. However, some of the activities are low scores po kasi. That's why it was like that. Okay, however, if you were able to comply, midterm pa lang naman to. So, definitely, possible pa na mahatak to by finals. So, your grades will still change because these are midterm grades. These are not the grades that will be reflected on your how do I say this? Your final grades. These are midterm grades, and these will still change. Pwedeng bumaba, pwedeng tumaas, depends on your performance on the final term. Gets ba?
I mean, ma'am, yung 74 po na grade, di ba po kakapasa ko lang din po sa annotated bibliography.
Okay na yun sa'yo.
Magbabago pa po.
Okay
Yun
na
na po
yun sa'yo. Na-record ko na, na-complete ko na yung record mo. Did I not send you your midterm grade? Updated one. Alright, sige. I'll send it to you probably. I'll post another updated grade sheet by probably tomorrow after all of the submissions are in. Clear?
Sige po.
Pero
Thank
yung
you
dito
po.
sa record ko, okay na. Hindi naman siya
Okay.
74.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Alright, okay. Sige. Anyone else? Any other concerns? I'll post an updated one kasi I'm just waiting for other students to submit their requirements. So if you are here, you already know who you are, and I've already posted the grade sheet naman on our group. Please do reach out to me so I can manually open the submission module for you. Okay. May I just ask, is Christina Gonzalez here? Are you familiar with her?
No, ma'am. Wala po kaming kaklaseng Gonzales po.
So, naliligaw talaga siya. Okay, kasi in my other class, her name also popped up on TBL Hub. But then, nung ni-research ko siya, pati yun dun, nung tinignan ko yung TBL Hub account niya, pati sa class niyo, naka-enroll din siya. And then dun sa isang class, nung tinanong ko, wala naman din silang kaklase na ganon. So, wala din kayong kaklase na ganon. So, definitely, naliligaw siya. She's not supposed to be part of EAPP. Or baka balik-aral siya. But anyway, okay, sige. So, wait lang ha. May naka-highlight kasi ako doon sa class record ko. So, si Gonzales, wala kayong kaklase talaga na ganun. Okay. How about si Race Allen?
Drop na po, ma'am.
So, drop na siya. Okay. So, wala na talaga din siya. Alright. So, everyone else naman, okay na po. Okay. So, any other concerns, clarifications, questions regarding grades? Regarding my feedback, meron ba kayong hindi naintindihan? Gusto nyong linawin? Ma'am, anong ibig sabihin mo nung sinabi mo to? Are there any? None?
Wala na po, ma'am.
Sure? Sure? Naka-record to ha, kayo nagsabi, wala na. Because after tonight, once all the requirements are in, okay, I only give tonight for the class, for all of my classes. Once it's over, now you have to, nasa na nga ako, I lost my train of thought. Okay, once it's over, I'll be submitting the grades to the office na. So, I cannot change it anymore. Bawi na lang talaga sa finals. Alright? So, ganun po ang mangyayari sa atin. Alright. So, if you don't have any more questions, I'll move on to the next agenda for today. Okay. So, our next agenda is, of course, your requirements for the next half of the term. Okay. So, for the first half of the term, you were only actually asked to do some preliminary work. Ibig sabihin, parang introduction pa lang yan with what you are supposed to accomplish for EAPP. Because like what I have mentioned in the first day of class, during our orientation for the class, EAPP is gonna require you to really write. Okay? At ito na yon, nandito na siya sa final half of the SEM na. So we are going to be writing all of your activities for this part of the SEM will be writing activities. And these writing activities are gonna fall under your performance task. Okay? So yun siya. Kaya medyo mabigat-bigat ito. That's why you have to make sure that everything that you have learned from lesson 1 to lesson 4, you will be able to adapt it or to apply it to the writing activities for lessons 5 to lesson 9. So we have 5 lessons left. Lesson 5 is supposed to start today. Medyo may kasalanan ako kasi I thought that I already have an uploaded lecture on this one from reading and writing, pero wala pala. So I'll be recording a lecture on this one later and I'll upload it later tonight, probably later tonight as well. Okay, so your first requirement for the first half of the SEM, for the latter half of the SEM, is gonna be a review, reaction, or response paper. It's already open, so if you already know how to write a review, reaction, response paper, and then apply what you have learned from our previous lessons in writing academic text, okay, you can start writing it na. Okay, so the instructions are already here. You just need to read carefully. Please, I am begging you. Okay, read the instructions before doing your work. Do not just rely on what your classmates told you to do. Maliwanag po? Because I've noticed that sometimes there were requirements that got a failing grade or I didn't give a grade at all because they did not follow the instructions. So please read the instructions carefully because that's where your grades will depend as well. If you did not follow the instructions, then definitely nag-fail na kagad kayo dun sa first skill, which is reading comprehension. All right, so read the instructions carefully. You are gonna be asked to watch a documentary. You're gonna choose from the documentaries I have posted, and then write a review or reaction paper from the documentary that you have watched. Okay, so that's your first requirement. That's an individual requirement, a review or reaction paper. The second one is a book critic. This one, I have already mentioned this at the start, at the beginning of the semester. I told you to start preparing for it because you will be required to read a book. Okay? In order for you to create a book critic, you need to ensure or you need to make sure that you have read the book. Because once I read your book critic and I found out that you haven't read the book, and trust me, I would know. Alam ko kapag hindi nyo yan binabasa. Okay? Then definitely, your grade will not go as high as 85. Okay? Baka nga hindi ko pa kayo bigyan ng 85. Baka 80 lang ang ibigay ko dyan. So, book critic, as you would notice naman, I read your works. I read everyone's work. I take the time to read everyone's work because you took the time as well to accomplish that one. So it's my job, it's my duty as a teacher to read the submitted work. Okay, so I read all your essays one at a time. That's why it also took me a while to submit or to complete your midterm grades because I read your essays one at a time. So second activity or second requirement for the next half of the term, the final term, is a book critic. You just need to read the book and then make a critic out of it. There are guide questions in here that you can use when you are writing. If you're having difficulties writing on top of your head, okay, there are guide questions that can help you. Those are just guide questions, ha, tulong lang. Okay, that doesn't mean that you really have to answer it one at a time. Okay, so that's the second one. The third one, we also have a lesson on concept paper, but there are no more requirements for this kasi di nyo naman na kailangan yan. So concept paper, wala na tayong isa-submit for this one. The last individual output would have to be a position paper. As HUMSS student, I am assuming that you are already familiar with what a position paper is. Basically, it's just an argumentative essay wherein there is an issue that you present and you also discuss your own viewpoint, your stand regarding the argument. However, the difference is that you need to state all of those arguments in an academic format. So, hindi siya pwede na, I believe, blah, 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 blah. You need to transform those into sentences that will sound academic. Alright? So, ayan po. Position paper. And then the last one, those are three. Now, the review reaction paper, the book critic, and the position paper, all of those papers, you can submit them until June, until 28th of May. So until May 28, I will accept your book critic, your review response paper, review reaction paper, and your position paper. Okay? But you would notice in TBL Hub, this will open 1 week at a time. Just so you can pace yourselves properly. Para lang hindi kayo matambakan ng matambakan. Okay, so kung you have time this week, I will be uploading, if not tonight, I will be uploading the video lecture by tomorrow. Pero yung handout naman nandyan na. So you can look at the handout, and if you already have confident, or you are already confident that you will be able to write it without listening to a lecture, then you can start writing it. Okay? So, pwede na yan. Pero, mag-upload pa rin ako ng video lecture. And for every lesson that is still on TBL Hub, there will still be a video lecture for each and every one of those things. Alright? So, again, those three requirements, book critic, review reaction paper, and position paper, all of them, I will be accepting all of them until May 28. But that doesn't mean nahihintayin nyo pa yung May 28 para makapag-submit ha. Weekly magbubukas yan. So, ngayong week, open na yung submission for review reaction paper. Next week, open na yung sa book critic. The week after that, mag-open na rin si position paper. So, ganun po tayo. Alright? So, huwag nyo nang hintayin na paabutin pa ng May 28 kasi maghahabol at maghahabol kayo din ang mahihirapan. Maliwanag po. While your schedules are still free, please try to work on your requirements. Kasi graduating na kayo, huwag nyo nang pahirapan yung sarili nyo. Okay? At trust me, hindi talaga maghahabol ang mga teachers ngayon dahil mahirap maghabol ng estudyante. Okay? Lalo na kapag mga kabuti yan, yung mga pasulpot-sulpot lang. So, there. Do we understand each other? Am I making myself clear? Sorry. Am I making myself clear?
Yes,
Yes,
po.
ma'am.
Yes po. Okay. So, someone raised their hand. Meron bang concern that you want to make?
Napindot lang po, ma'am. Sorry po.
Okay, sige. Ngayon, tatanungin ko kayo, do you have any questions regarding those individual activities? Clarifications that you want to make? Do we have any? None so far. Sige, pag-isipan yung mabuti ha kung ano yung mga possible yung itanong kasi this is an opportunity for me to discuss it with you. Okay, since none so far, let's move on. So, 3 individual activities to be submitted until May 28. After that, you will need to focus on writing your final output. Okay, my question is, do you have a research project class?
Yes po.
Yes, okay. Do you have a topic for your how are you going about your research project class? Anong final output nyo? What's the expected output from that class this semester? Anyone?
Ma'am. Ay, okay.
Sige, go ahead. Anyone? Kian, you were saying something?
Okay, ma'am. Ang sabi po sa amin ng professor ng research project, tatapusin lang po namin yung 5 chapters, then hindi na po kami i-require na gumawa ng project for that final output po. To complete na lang po yung 5 chapters po.
Okay, so you were asked to write chapter 1 to chapter 5, correct?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay. So, chapter 1 to chapter 5 kayo. Do you already have topics, titles? Yes, no?
Yes po, pero na ano po kami ngayon, ma'am? Chapter 4 to 5 na po kami.
At chapter 4 and 5 lang yung gagawin nyo.
For the finals po, kasi done na po kami from chapter 1 to 3.
Oo nga, okay. So, yon chapter 4 and 5 lang. Okay, question. How many groups do you have for research project? How many groups? 5, 6? Individual?
4 groups po.
4?
Yes po, ma'am.
Who is your professor on research project?
Ma'am.
Si Moneta Agbulos po.
Si Ma'am Agbulos. Okay. So, di naman siya problem. So, you have chapter 4 and 5 for finals. Alright. Now, can someone from the group type, you have 4 groups, di ba? Can someone from each of those groups type the title or the topic that they have for their research project? Halimbawa, group 1, ito yung title namin. Group 2, ito. Group 3, ganon. Group 4, ganon. Can you please type it on the chat box? Anyone from the group? I just need to know. Hala. Nangyari. Ann, anong group nyo? Group 2. Okay, how about the others? Group 4, correlation din. Correlation between the absence of sex education in public school and teenage pregnancy. Okay. So, correlation study between the influence of TikTok and Pinterest to the consumerist culture of, wow. How are you going to measure consumerist culture? How about the others? Group 3, correlation then, influence of celebrity clothes, endorsers to the purchasing behavior of selected, okay. How about the last group? So what is your major or main data gathering instrument? Survey, I'm assuming. Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Have you already formulated your survey questionnaire or constructed your survey questionnaire?
Yes po.
Yes, okay. Have you already done your data gathering? Na-implement nyo
Not
na
yet,
yung
ma'am.
not yet. Okay, sige. Comparative study about the impact of sleep deprivation between selected men and women of. Okay. So, depending on sexual orientation ba to, group 1? How different is the impact of sleep deprivation in men and women? Tama ba? Yes or no? Group 1. Yes po. Okay. Alright. Sige. Alright. So, all of you, your main or your primary research instrument is a survey. Correct?
Yes po.
Yes. Okay. So, that is what you're going to use on your survey report. Okay? So, here's what you're gonna do for your final activity or your final group activity. I want you to use that survey instrument para hindi na kayo gumawa ng bago. We'll maintain the groupings that you have. Are you in favor of that one? Can I see a raise of hands? If I'll stop presenting first so I can see everyone. Okay, can I see a raise of hands for those who want to maintain or keep the groupings? Raise your hand. Huwag niyo muna ibaba, ha? Raise hand lang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. So, we have reached majority. Okay, so we'll keep the groupings. Thank you for raising your hands. We'll keep the groupings same as your groupings in research project para madali na, okay? Because my idea is this one. It's like hitting two birds with one stone. It's either you will be using your output in EAPP for your research project or the output in research project for EAPP. Para hindi na kayo mahirapan, wala nang bagong output pa na kailangan gawin. Okay? Yung paulit-ulit tayo. So, what you're gonna do is, since you are gonna be using a survey, I want you to implement that survey, conduct the survey, and then collect data from at least 50 respondents to 150 and more. Basta at least 50 respondents using that survey. And then from the data that you have collected, you will be making a survey report. Okay, ano ba yung survey report? A survey report is as simple as stating what were the results of the survey. So, iisa-isahin nyo yon. For example, on the first part of our survey, we covered the demographic profile of our respondents. The demographic profile of our respondents are as follows. 20% of them are female, 50% of them are male, and the rest did not want to disclose their sexual orientation. Yung mga ganun lang. That's a survey report. So you're gonna discuss the results of the survey questionnaire. Are we clear? Yes, no, ma'am, maybe. Yes? Guys, may kausap pa ba ako? Did I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Because I want you, for example, nauna yung natapos si EAPP, the survey report could actually be used in your data analysis, or sorry, in your results and discussion for your chapter 4. Di ba ang chapter 5 conclusion? Chapter 4 is results and discussion. Correct? Tama? Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so pwede nyo siyang magamit. It's either yung nagawa nyo na for research project, pupuliduhin nyo na lang yon and then ipapasa nyo sa akin. Or kung mauuna nyong ipasa si EAPP, pwede nyo magamit yung output nyo sa EAPP with my input as well to your own research project. Okay, so we are hitting two birds with one stone. Hindi na kailangan gumawa pa ng panibagong survey questionnaire and panibagong survey report. Okay, so I hope I made myself clear. Yes?
Yes po.
Yes, okay. Sige, nagkakaintindihan tayo dyan ha. This is recorded. So, that's how it's gonna be for your final output. And that's gonna be a group submission. So, isang output lang for all of you in the group. Maliwanag? Yes, no, guys, sagot naman. Anyari? Yes po.
Opo.
Okay, there are 41 of you right now pero walang sumasagot ni isa. Ayaw mag-unmute. Okay, so there. We are clear on that one. That's your final output. Again, let me repeat the expected outputs for for the last half of the semester. Number 1, the review, response, or reaction paper. Pili lang kayo ng isa. Pangalawa, the book critic. Third one is the position paper. All of these 3 are individual activities to be submitted until May 28. Okay, until May 28. The last one to be submitted on the first week of June before we end our semester. The first week of June, it's your survey report. The survey questionnaire that you will use for your survey report will be coming from your research project. Clear?
Clear po.
Clear. Okay, and that's a group activity. Now, class president, please post the groupings. Yung groupings nyo sa research project, pwede bang paki-post siya sa ating Facebook group so I can also group you accordingly on TBL Hub. Para kasi kapag nag-submit, kahit isa lang doon sa grupo, pwede na mag-submit. Okay?
Okay po.
Okay, thank you. Alright, so any questions regarding any of those activities? Imposibleng wala kayong tanong. I'm sure may bumabagabag sa inyo. Go ask it now. Go ahead, King. Alfred, go ahead. You raised your hand.
Ma'am, napindot lang po. I'm sorry po.
Okay. Lara, do you have any question?
Ma'am, ano po, tanong ko lang po if then sa tatlong activities, yung review po, critic, and position paper, are you going to ano pa rin po ba? Parang pwede po ba kami mag-send for parang comments and feedbacks po galing sa'yo or no more?
Okay, pwede. That's a perfectly good question. All right. So, you can still send it to me, upload it on Google Docs, send me the link. Huwag nyo na siya sa akin, di ba, share nyo siya sa email. Huwag nyo na siyang i-share via email kasi, just make it like that. Pero don't expect me to read it on my email account kasi naka-filter po yung mga messages coming through on my email. So once na-share nyo siya sa akin, na-share nyo siya dun sa email ko na yon, paki-message din ako sa Facebook so I would be informed. Are we clear?
Okay, thank you po.
Okay, so you can still ask me for feedback, for comments, for suggestions on how to improve before you even submit it to before you even submit it to TBL Hub. Every week, I will be available for that. Okay? Medyo lang, slight lang, matatagalan lang tayo ng konti minsan sa pag-reply because I also have a lot of things to do. But rest assured that I will look into it and I will give you my comment as soon as I see it. Okay? So, ayun po. Alright, any other questions that you have? And with regards to that as well. Okay, so paki-plot na po yung ating calendar of activities. May 18, we will meet synchronously. That's our next synchronous session, May 18. And then June 1, we will also meet for our synchronous session. Baka yung following week nun, mag-meet din tayo, pero tentative pa. Okay, depende pa sa mga mangyayari. But for May 18 and June 1, I have activities prepared for everyone. So, we'll get to enjoy it again. And yon for May 18 and June 1, yon. For 11 and 25, since asynchronous tayo for that week, May 11 and May 25, for those who need verbal feedback, lalo na yung mas gusto nila na nanggagaling mismo sa bibig ng teacher, naririnig nila, auditory sila. Okay? They would want that. I would be opening a public consultation. So, for a few hours in that particular day, for example, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, okay, I'll open up a Google Meet. Ipopost ko yon sa ating, how do I say this? Sa ating Facebook group. I'll post about it on our Facebook group and then I'll also include the time when it's gonna be open. And you can join. You can join that particular hindi ko alam kung Zoom, baka Zoom yung gamitin ko. Pero I'll post about it para kasi may password. Sa Google Meet kasi walang password, correct? May password ba sa Google Meet? Wala.
Wala naman po, ma'am.
Wala, no? Parang kahit sino lang pwedeng pumasok. So, except kapag yun nga, pag hindi talaga sa taga-yumak. Pero anyone. But anyway, okay. Basta I'll think about those things on my own. I'll open a public consultation, parang lawyer. Okay? And then, if you have questions, answers, clarifications about the activities or even about the lesson for that particular week, then you can always ask me via that. Kasi yun lang, baka kasi mamaya nakukulangan yung ibang mga students. And I found out that some students would prefer it to be verbally delivered to them. I mean, the feedback to be verbally delivered to them. So I'll open one like that. Okay, that's for May 11 and May 25. But for May 18 and June 1, sure yan, meron tayong, unless of course I am needed for an event, but definitely sure yan, meron tayong synchronous session for those weeks. Are we clear? Yes, no, maybe not?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yes po. Alright, sige. Any other questions, concerns, clarifications that you want to make? Wala na. Okay pa ba kayo? Did you have a class before my class?
Yes po.
Yes. Okay. So, okay lang naman na nag-start na ako ng 30 minutes late kasi may klase naman pala kayo. Okay. So, anything else that you want to bring up? Wala na kayong tanong? Sigurado kayo? Ala. Okay, question. Ma'am, ano pong libro ang babasahin for book critic? Okay, I don't have any other restrictions aside from number 1, kailangan physically published si book. Ibig sabihin, kahit hindi nyo siya binasa or nabasa or babasahin in physical format, kailangan meron siyang katuwang na physical format kapag hinanap ko sa National Bookstore. Okay, you guys, since you cannot buy, you cannot go outside, we don't have the resources for it, it's okay for you to read it using on a digital format. Pero you need to make sure that that particular book, if I look for it on National Bookstore or Fully Book, meron siyang physical copy. Maliwanag po. So, hindi pwede yung nasa Wattpad lang siya. Tapos, hindi siya na-publish ever. It was not picked up for publishing ever. Are we clear? Okay, that's the first one.
Yes po.
Okay, kailangan may physical copy but not necessarily the one that you are gonna be reading. Okay, next one. Second is, bawal po ang children's books. You cannot read Adarna books anymore. Yung mga maninipis na children's books, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, please lang tantanan nyo na yan. Okay? Senior high school na kayo, you're supposed to be upping your reading game. So, please read novellas, shorts, not short stories, novels, short collection of poetry, yung mga ganyan, pwede po yan. Collection of short stories, pwede yan. You can make a review out of mangas or comic books as long as yung nakalibro siya, ha? Hindi yung comics na nababasa mo lang sa dyaryo. Okay? Kasi trust me, I know. I will read each and every one of those book critic, and I would know kapag hindi nyo yan binasa. Okay, so you can read those things. Wag lang children's books na hindi siya novel or novella format. Okay? Diary of a Wimpy Kid, it's okay kahit na children's book yon. What else? Bawal ang textbooks. You cannot make a review out of textbooks. Yung ginagamit nyo sa school, bawal yan. Okay, basta non-fiction books are fine. Mga self-help books, fine yan. Okay. What else? Yun lang. Ayun lang yung mga restrictions ko. No particular genre. And another question that came up, ma'am, kahit ano pong language, kahit Filipino, okay lang. Okay lang po. But your your book critic has to be written in English. The book that you will read, I don't mind whatever the language is. Kung nakakabasa kayo ng French, why not? Kung nakakabasa kayo ng Spanish, why not? Okay, but your book critic has to be in English. Clear?
Clear po.
Clear, ha? Sige, recorded to. Mamaya, ipopost ko to. Okay. We are clear on that. We understood each other. All right. Any other questions, concerns, clarifications that you want to make? Guys?
Wala naman na po.
None na. Okay, sige. Since there are no more questions, let me just stop presenting first. Again, for those who want to submit their requirements, please message me on Facebook so I can manually open the submission module for you. All right. Taka lang ha. Let me just take a quick screenshot. Okay. So if there are no more questions, concerns, clarifications, I will see everyone again on the 18th of May. And I will make the lesson available by tonight or by tomorrow, the video lecture. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, thank you so much, Grade 12-09HUMSS. I'll see you again soon. Bye po, you may now leave the room.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye.